The first goal came just 10 minutes into the match. The second hit the back of the net just before halftime off the head of the team's youngest player, 21-year-old Alex Freeman. It was another strong showing by the U.S., who controlled the ball most of the game. The U.S. playing on home soil has its advantages, with the roar of the crowd actually shaking the stadium at points. Even
completely out. Not partly out. Deport yourself. Oh, jeez. Okay. Good, deport yourself. That way.
How's it? Hang loose. Welcome to Mongoose Max Hawaii, the channel. Okay. Hidden, and we even have Ghost Tube Box. The voices from beyond. Random word generator. Let's get this on. Yeah. Because with the power of Grayskull back here, stuck up Masters of the Universe. Never released the just yet movie review for Masters of the Universe. The He-Man guy is an actor from England, and the old He-Man was Dolph Lundgren. There's many attempts to do Masters of the Universe, and none of them were very successful. Oh, hello everyone. It is Saturday, June 20th, and you said the thing. It's Saturday, so little vlog, little news. The birdies are getting wised up. They're kind of there's few of them that are stragglers, but the bulk of them are kind of over there in a way. And I think there might be cycles to their little breeding season of squawking. Gosh, I'm inside it. It's the ghost of the birds. And tomorrow, Sunday, we're not going to go over to Kaneohe to visit Jim and his healing leg because it's and it's also Father's Day. Jesus, Father's Day. My dad's been passed since 2014. He was a good guy. But Father's Day, in the midst of all this other stuff. Today we're going to go over to the bookstore again. So I'm going to rush off to something again. And the news of the world is a little still crazy. I think there's Pete Hegseth getting his way with the DEI stuff within the Department of War, which is really the Department of Defense, because they just changed the names on the signs and the doors. It didn't go through the real name change. It's like they don't do anything by the book or through channels. It's taking the democracy on the inside workings of the government, taking that bit out too. They don't go through Congress. They don't do this. Just change the name. It's Department of War. Well, Pete Hegseth is, not hiring generals that, African American generals that are also the top pick, the best person for the job. But he's like, we can't have these woke ideologies and these, it's racism just trying to be disguised as something else. See, that's what is really racism. It's not like if someone's just being Archie Bunker or makes a slight comment. It's like when it's in the system. That's the big deal racism. You know, when it's in the system. But then it's also generally there's too much racism. Pete Hegseth, Department of War. And speaking of Department of War, it's the war in Iran. It's the main one. Mostly because gases are high. That's the biggest unpopularity point is the high gas prices. But it just reminds of all the other stuff going on with the economy. Don't forget the tariffs, this and that. It's just, and then the manipulation of the Fed. Oh, so much stuff. And then Trump has all these dumbass projects. The Arc de Triomphe. He redecorates the inside of the Oval Office gilded, and then he goes visits Versailles, the real McCoy. He's like, he's signing the peace deal. They're all signing the peace deal for a ceasefire. I'm not even quite sure. It's a memorandum. So a memo, like a notepad memo, a memorandum of understanding. So that means non-binding. Yeah, come on, you get it. You know, you get it. It's like instead of like committing, it's like you get it. Come on, you know, there's an expectation here. But there's 14 points in it, and it's not better than if everything comes true and Iran holds up its end of the bargain. The end result is less. It's less than the original Obama negotiation, which was made over many years, and it was a few years ago. It's not better than that. So we're back to the same place, except we're not all the way back to the same place because the failure, that's right. The failure is the control over the Strait of Hormuz. They're opening it right now. Expect gas prices to kind of spike a little bit, going down. They're like, look, dude, because they're opening it. It's like, because that's how the markets react. Little expectations, little news release. But the overall, it's not going to go down for a long time. And so these memorandum points might not be fulfilled. And the biggest memorandum point that's not going to be fulfilled is Israel keeps bombing into Lebanon, trying to get the Hezbollah out of there. And Trump's going, stop. And BIBI Netanyahu, and so BIBI's a crappy leader. But he's a Trumpy follower, but not in this case. So Trump's mad at BIBI. BIBI's like, I'm going to do whatever I want to, just like Trump does. So Hezbollah is backed by Iran, and Iran made it a point in the treaty, a memorandum of understanding, that you don't bomb, Israel stops bombing Hezbollah in Lebanon, which is a whole thing unto itself, really. So Israel goes into Lebanon, Iran's going to go, you didn't fulfill your duty as part of the memorandum, and they're going to keep control over the Strait of Hormuz, and they're demanding reparations, and they set up a fund, I guess anybody can fund it. Who's going to fund it? $300 billion fund for Iran, which is going to promise, I understand, not to develop nuclear weapons or rearm themselves. Well, I guess they can rearm themselves. They say, they have some missiles. So basically, the big bad terrorist organization, here's a bunch of money. I know you're out there saying, kill America for 47 years and we can't have a nuclear weapon. But here's $300 billion, and we understand you're going to do the right thing. So there's a little bit of that, like, and plus, who's going to fund the $300 billion fund? I think they're expecting European nations to kick in. And the other thing was one really big good news. I got one thing to say about Russia. Indeed. Like one thing to say about Russia and Ukraine conflict understanding. Hooray! Ukraine is deep into Russia with the drones all the way into this big city, Moscow, the center of the Putin regime, or whatever you call it. So the drones are going into Moscow, bombing stuff like oil tanks and things like that. So it's big fire bombs and a lot of black smoke and stuff like that. Russia, on contrast, shoots missiles into Ukraine for four years and just targets civilian apartment building. Boom. Russia just goes in and kills civilians. And then tries to kidnap their children too, to brainwash them to be Russians. You are Russian, along. Exactly like Adolf did. But anyways, I'm trying to be quick and fast, so there it is. Good for Ukraine might be single-handedly, because no one's helping them out too much, single-handedly chipping away at Russia, and now it's inside Moscow. They try to shoot the Russian soldiers are trying to shoot down the drones, missing and hitting their own building. The missiles missing. Let me change that. They missed the missiles miss and hit their own oil refinery, and the top blows off like a cartoon fireball, and this little giant lid is on top. It's like, what the heck? So it is all chaos. And on top of that, at the G7, when Zelensky, president of Ukraine, is there, he's talking to Trump. Oh, we need some support, but he gets support from some of these EU countries, like the NATO countries. He's getting support from them to the tune of 90 billion euros, which is a ton. So Ukraine is supported financially for the military efforts against Russia, and Russia is not supported. Russia's falling apart. So war is expensive, not only in human lives, but it's super expensive to the country. Anyways, I'm just trying to make this short, so here we go. Off to the World Cup. This news from Hawaii. Who's winning the World Cup? I think the U.S. won over Australia. So sorry, Down Under. And they jumped, never since 1930, since has the USA gone in the World Cup up to these regional knockout rounds. So the USA is in the knockout rounds. They got a chance. And they hadn't done that since 1930. So, America, win. It's soccer. Come on. Draft bill calls for negotiating. There's land over here. Oh, the promotions. Yeah, DEI. We had the top pick for advancement on generals, and this guy's a rear admiral. And Hegseth's like, no, he's not white enough. We can't support DEI. This is like DEI in reverse. So it's basic institutional racism. And there's the little Adolf right there. Pete Hegseth, in many ways, freaking freak. Sorry. And World Cup. Yeah. And I guess I don't know. It's down to, look, United States. Ooh, we won Australia. And next is going to be who's going to win the other team. And yeah. Ooh, it's like kind of like a little, it's like that rollerball game. They fight the wars by using sports teams. Oh, back in the day, yeah. Oh, back in the day. Remember we were really relaxed back in 1972. Just paint your car like you're in the beach. This is a paint job, and the car stopped at the traffic light in Kapiolani Boulevard, and everyone doing a double take. That's such a double take there, isn't it? What kind of car is that? Please. 72. Oh, God. And, local cartoon. There's something there. Oh, the MAGA chainsaw.
Son, it's 250 years old by counting the rings.
U.S. democracy. cutting it down. We can tell from the fallen tree. Oh, we got here.
No need for rude attitude. Genki balls, reflecting using the fire funds to
I think I'm going to try to do this one again.
No need for rude attitude during election cycle.
A biker at the corner of South King Street and Ward Avenue rode by 3 of us sign wavers and said,
He's such a sucker! All of us.
Not all of us. This was odd because we were sign waving for Representative Dola Ao Batlati, who was a woman. I asked, Sir, did you say something to us? He replied by shaking his head, looking forward and shooting back his middle finger. Why was he so rude? As we prepare for elections in 2026, is rudeness necessary? Every Wednesday, we sign wave at the 4 corners of this Honolulu intersection. We believe a vote for Della helps improve the lives of all Hawaii's people, and to elect their lieutenant governor will help us protect our democracy from dark money in politics. Please, we'll buy it to see us again. We'll introduce you to Della, a more better choice for Hawaii. Chaz Hill, Palolo Valley. Oh, thank you, Chaz, for sending in your letter and creating a negative press into a positive little. Come by, we'll introduce you to. Yeah, I'm sure Zella's, a great candidate and all that, but the idea of rudeness, come on, it's far past rudeness. I mean, this is like major negative campaigning, and it started back like when the states started to get red and blue. First it was 9/11, we're all unified, then it went distinctly red and blue. And then who's going to be president and who's going to win those elections? They used to be every 4 years. Yeah, the guy's a sucker, whatever. Every 4 years, negative campaigning in the presidential election. Now it's like all of the 4 years while the person's president is this constant barrage of how bad the failed Biden administration, and that machinery of negative campaigning is just everywhere. Now it's using AI and AI related. It's just using everything just to get power and money and that whole dark money in politics. Do I still have? Yes, I still have. Anyways, yeah. So, you know what? When the guy comes by, flips you a bird, say, "Yeah, screw you." Hey, throw some really moist Genki balls at them. Fight back. Well, everyone really, really must go out there and just vote blue wave. Doesn't matter. It's not a Democrat Republican thing. It's the ones in office. Whatever they're called, they're not Republicans. They're Project 2025ers, Project 2026ers. Anyways, have a nice Saturday. It's gotten all weird. Aloha now. Aloha. Aloha to you. It should be kind of sunny day, I think.
I don't know. Gotta go check out the books. Oh, kind of books and stuff like that. Aloha, have a good day. Aloha to you. Happy Father's